Tonight, from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. And the San Francisco 49ers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Here's Mecole Hardman. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
They often say you can't force situations. You just have to let them happen organically. And that's exactly what happened in Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes took over as the quarterback and has become the face of the franchise in the NFL as we now move into the 101st season. Fourth year in the league, already has an MVP, a Super Bowl title, and a Super Bowl MVP on his resume. 3 huge games in the postseason last year, 10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and 2 more on the ground. He just keeps getting better and better, and every time you watch him play, you want to see more.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from second and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Mahomes going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Javon Kinlaw, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
When you use the phrase menacing presence, you have to be talking about the rookie out of South Carolina, Javon Kinlaw, ended up being the number 14 overall pick in this draft. And what a ride.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. D4. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The 49er offense about to go to work, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Charles, at quarterback.
And there he is, the man known as Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo, who I thought had a really nice year in 2019. So close to culminating with a Super Bowl title. Accurate with the football, completed nearly 70% of his passes, which was 4th best in the NFL. Nearly 4,000 yards through the air with a team that runs the ball with great efficiency. 27 touchdowns, but in the Super Bowl, didn't quite make the plays they needed down the stretch. But remember, some big wins last year. At New Orleans, at Seattle in Week 17, 2 playoff wins. He's continuing to develop as one of the better ascending players in the league.
They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Ball carrier.
Well, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 25.
Ball carrier.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Garoppolo finding Dante Pettis. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
For the point after.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, they had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Return. The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Off the draw, here's Williams. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
He was brought down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. James now to return. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
42-yard.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opponent.
Touchdown, 49ers! Raheem Mostert, 58 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away from the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And the first down.
Tyreek Hill certainly makes a front office look good when they spend a 5th-round pick on a guy that in his first 4 seasons, 4 Pro Bowl nominations. Anytime he touches the football, he's a threat to take it the distance. Hard to get on the ground one-on-one in the open field. If you miss, in the blink of an eye, he's putting 6 on the board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
The ball carrier.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
First down and a little extra for Mostert. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
Raheem Mostert averaged 5.6 yards per carry last year. That was 2nd in the NFL. So it's safe to say that it paid off that he patterned his work ethic after his hero, Frank Gore, the former 49er. That's a guy who really shows you how to go out and get it done each and every day. Raheem Mostert patterned him and had a breakout season in 2019 with the 49ers.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
What a breakout season Raheem Mostert had in 2019, and now he's got a chance to be the lead back for his team. In fact, he spent time in the offseason bulking up, trying to get stronger, to absorb the extra hits and be available for more snaps. He wants to be a guy who carries the ball from game 1 all the way through game 16 in the regular season.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And 10.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete as well.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The fake punt gets them 10, and that changes things as they've got a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Up for the point after.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Hardman on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Options galore here, second and a few inches. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 54 yards away. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will... And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
Chiefs, nothing.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Here's Richie James on the return. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10. At their own 22-yard line.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
44-yard line.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
First down, Chiefs.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just... On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. They complete it to Hill.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And this is third down.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Butker's kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
Chiefs 3.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Ayuk on the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 19.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. On first down, they go with Mostert again. A strong running. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Got the connection here to Bourne. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
1st and 10.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 26-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
George Kittle is easily one of the elite tight ends in the NFL. Back-to-back seasons of 88 and 85 catches. We just saw another one right there. Anytime he lines up on the field, you better treat him as a primary receiver and make sure you have a second guy in the vicinity to try and cover it.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown of the night. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 19 yards there on the pickup. And the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs. Back now here in Santa Clara.
With the score.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Mahomes now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Eluding the pressure right. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
A gain of 18 on the play.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now Mahomes, maybe a free play. And Robinson with a big catch. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
At the 22-yard line.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now goal for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. It's Hill, complete. Mahomes give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another? And especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball.
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop them.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Ball carrier.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line.
Once again, it's Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And Wilson.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Loss of 7.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments in the...
38.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Oftentimes with these gadget plays, these fakes, we focus on the offense and say, hey, they practiced this week. They were ready. But the defenses practice these situations too.
And just look at it this way. The two owners sitting up in their boxes, one is saying, boys, my team well prepared, and the other one's like, I got to talk to my coaches. What were they thinking?
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Demarcus Robinson, the intended target on that one.
And it's second down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One final try for Mahomes. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the victory here for San Francisco. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.